due to popular demand and getting lots and lots of messages on YouTube, whether or not I meant it, because I didn't really know how to turn off the notifications on YouTube, and I get little pop-ups on my phone. Hey Hannah, we want an update. How are you and Ellie doing? So here I am. And let me start with, it was really hard for me to look back on my YouTube videos for a really long time. And I think because it was such a bittersweet time in my life, and I, went through a lot, and there's no way that anyone can begin to comprehend what I went through. You don't pull your camera out to record an argument or a bad time in your life. You pull your camera out to record the good stuff and the stuff that you want to look back on and remember and share with the world. And obviously, I did not want to pull my camera out and share with you guys the reality of things. And not to mention, like, when you're in a marriage with somebody and you are recording things that are personal and private between you two, and things already aren't going that well, like, you don't want people getting in the middle of it. And YouTube people like to comment and provide their opinion, whether or not it's wanted. And that sometimes makes more tension in a situation that's already pretty tense. And also, privacy-wise, I did feel like my privacy had been breached at one point. And, my number one priority is me and Ellie's privacy and our safety. And obviously going through a lot with the divorce and the relocation and everything else that we went through, which I, for my sake and for everyone else's, I don't want to dive into, but just know that everyone involved, the family-wise, so, Ellie's dad and me and Ellie, did everything that we could emotionally to make that work. And we drove ourselves into the ground trying to make it work. And there's nothing I can say to begin to explain what we went through. And it was so hard for me to make that decision to relocate away from her dad. But that's what I knew after everything I endured, which I know you didn't see, was the best thing for all of us. And it was. And now, 3 years later, I know I made the right choice. And I know you guys want an update on our lives, and I actually already recorded one, but my camera was all whacked out, and it was like getting all fuzzy, so I'm going to try to re-explain everything. The long and the short of it is that we moved back to America after our divorce, and I had to live with my mom for a while. I was there with her for about 3 months looking for a job. I wanted to do something that I could use my Japanese skills, my education towards, obviously, for more money, as well as somewhere that had facility for Ellie to continue her Japanese education. So I ended up relocating 2 hours away from where I was born and raised, and I found a position at a Japanese company where I have stayed. So I've been there for almost 3 years. The first year that I was there, I was living in an apartment complex with my daughter, with Ellie, and across the hall from us, coincidentally, was another single mother who also had a daughter the same age as Ellie. And most of the time, as a parent, you just kind of grit your teeth and like deal with the parents because your kids are friends with their kids. But in this situation, like, I was just as good as friends as Ellie was with her daughter. And it was moving here with no family and no one to rely on. Like, it was a godsend. And so after a year of living there, she decided she wanted to move out because she'd already been in that apartment for 2 years, and she was going to look for a house in this area. And I'm like, all right, I'm moving out too. And we ended up buying homes in a half-mile radius from each other, and now I own a home. And this is a nice bungalow style 3-bedroom home, which is awesome. I would never be able to afford this in Japan. Thankfully, I am able to afford it here. Of course, owning a home can be a bitch. Like, things break, you gotta pay for it. But all in all, I love owning a home. Ellie and I have a dog. She's a real asshole, but we like her. Her name's Minnow. She's a corgi. We've had her for a year now. We have a cat named Baloo. He's a rescue. And what else is new? I work full time. And of course, there's challenges with that. Ellie's in 2nd grade now, and she has continued her Japanese education. She goes to school from roughly 8:30 a.m. and I pick her up at around 6 p.m. And, I get home, I make dinner, help her with her homework. She sometimes has, after school activities. And then, of course, dating when you're a single mom with a child is difficult, but I've managed. All in all, coming here 3 years ago, I feel very rooted. I have a lot of friends between work. I really do enjoy my job. It is hard. There's a lot of effort and time that I put into it, but clearly it pays well enough for Ellie and I to live comfortably. I do enjoy my job, and I've really worked my way up in these 3 years, and I enjoy my coworkers. I have a good group of friends here around me. My family, being my mom, is only 2 hours away. If I need to go somewhere for work, she can come and help me. I like being in Michigan. I guess it takes being away to really appreciate what you do, what you missed. And of course, Japan will always hold a special place in my heart, but home is home, and having family nearby is, you can't replace that with anything when you have a kid, especially when you're doing it alone. And I'm sure you guys want to know about Ellie's dad and his role in her life now. We have gone back to visit back in, I think it was sometime late 2 summers ago, so it was almost a year and a half ago. And now we are planning a trip for May to July-ish, somewhere in there. So we try to go back once every year to 2 years, and her and her dad still talk on Skype a lot, and they send things back and forth, and all in all, I couldn't have asked for anything to turn out any better than it has. And it's not perfect. Your life isn't perfect, but I'm happy and she's flourishing and doing well, and I feel like he is too. And it's hard, of course, not having her dad here, and it's hard, there's struggles always, and it wasn't easy for me to reestablish myself with nothing. Like, I moved here with like 12 boxes, like this big, and very little money, and no job, no car, lost my license because I had a ticket that I hadn't paid, and I was gone out of the country for 5 years and they just took it away. I had to take my driver's test again. I had to get a car. I had to determine where I was going to live, get a job, get a place, and figure it out, and I did. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but it does feel good to like know that what I have now is the outcome of my hard work. And like, of course I had support from my family, and I wouldn't have been able to do it had I not had them to fall back on. But like, building yourself out of the ashes like the phoenix. I love Harry Potter. I'm sorry. I felt like, I know I didn't convey the struggle, but the struggle was real. And I was at a very, very dark place in my life when I left Japan. But I don't regret it, and I love my daughter very, very much, and she loves her father very, very much. And, all those experiences were leading up to where I am now, and I am happy now, and so is she. So, all's well that ends well, I hope. And, I know you guys probably have a lot of questions for me, and I would like to remain private to a certain degree. And I don't know if I'm going to continue making YouTube videos, but your messages did hit me. And like, knowing that, I don't know if I helped anybody, but it sounded like I started making YouTube videos not knowing what I was doing or what would come of it, but just that I wanted to record or create something to remember my journey. And like, I tried writing, wasn't really my thing. Like, I am so glad that I can look back on those things, and it is like a story. It's hard to remember. It's like a diary. It's like looking back on those things that are such vulnerable moments in my life. But I'm glad that I have those to show Ellie and say, look at how cute you were, and look at this, and look at what we did here. And I'm glad that you guys can like reach out to me and say, whether or not I helped you as a Japan cultural thing, or as a young mother, or as someone trying to readjust and to basically make a new version of themselves in a new country. Maybe you're an American living in Mexico, or a Mexican moving to America, or whatever. If I reached out to you and somehow my videos helped you, you helped me too, because you guys sent me a lot of messages saying, you did this for me, or you did that for me, or, I miss you and I want to know how you're doing. And I want you to know that that did mean a lot to me, and I do understand, and like, I do watch other YouTube channels and relate and feel like I know that person, and after watching them for like years and years and following them, I feel like I know them, and it would be hard if they just disappeared. And I'm here still, and I'm doing well, and I want you to know that I appreciate you guys, and I'll never forget, although there are negative people on YouTube, the great amount of support that I received from you guys. So thank you. And if I do decide to make videos, which I'm not sure yet, maybe you can give me some ideas down below. Alright, so let me introduce you to Ellie and Minnow.
Oh my goodness.
Minnow in Japanese is Meidaka, so I call her
Mei-chan. Oh, Mei-chan, you're such a mean little girl. But I still love you. Oh my god, you just want to buy everything. You just want to buy everything. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Ellie, come here. This is my giant baby girl. How old are you now?
7.
What's your favorite color?
Pink and purple.
And what else do you want to tell them about yourself?
I gotta go to piano now.
You go to piano now.
Uh-huh.
And what else?
Science.
Science. And you just finished?
Hula.
Yep. まだ日本語わかる？
うん。
頑張って勉強してる？
うん。
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.